one day I'm gonna be the calmest, most chill, peaceful, relaxed, joyful person and mom that I know. For now, I am not, but I am moving in the right direction, slowly but surely. And in this video, I want to share with you my favorite habits and essentials for a calmer nervous system to stay more grounded, chill, and relax in your day-to-day life, especially as a mom, especially as a stay-at-home mom. First things first, we gotta start our days somehow. Definitely don't start it by being on your phone. What I've been doing for the past month, I put my phone away in the container. I don't use it as good as at all. What I've been doing in the morning is writing morning pages or just doing morning journaling. I call them morning prayers. I just speak my mind, speak my heart, whatever worries you, whatever you got to do, whatever comes up, you just write everything down. It's just a way of getting everything out of your brain onto a piece of paper. I made a separate video about morning pages, how I go about them, why I love them, what's been working for me, and all that. So if you're interested, feel free to check that video out. But moving on, you wrote your morning pages, you feel already calmer, more organized, more clear about your day, about your life. Now it's time to get ready a little bit. Get yourself together, especially as a stay-at-home mom when you don't have places to go. It's tempting to just stay in your pajamas, in your sweatpants, with your messy hair. And I absolutely suggest you do that if you have a newborn or a kid up to 1.5, maybe even 2 years old. But I feel like at a certain point, if our kids sleep through the nights, if they're not sick, if there's nothing extra demanding happening, I feel like you have the time in the morning to just put some comfortable but nicer clothes on and get your hair ready a little bit. I never do my hair, but like just to brush your hair, brush your teeth, wash your face, put a moisturizer on, put an SPF on, a little bit of a blush, mascara, concealer, BB cream, whatever you like. Just have a simple, minimal beauty/skin care routine that you do stick to every morning. I think it makes a big difference. And again, depends on your situation. And specifically speaking to stay-at-home moms, it does make a difference, I feel like. But if your child is very little or you have multiple kids under 4, under 3, under 2 years old, of course, give yourself a break and just hang out in your messy bun and your sweatpants all day. Don't put any extra pressure on yourself. Next up, something I had to admit to myself. It's better when I drink less coffee. I'm not saying that my conviction of what works for me will work for you, but it's just another habit, another area of your life to maybe look a little bit into and see what works best for you. I'm not saying don't drink any coffee. I'm not saying coffee is good or bad. You decide, you got to find out what works for your body. I wasn't drinking any coffee during pregnancy at all, postpartum at all while breastfeeding. And then I started and I noticed I'm drinking too much. I drink a morning coffee at 5 or 5:30 when my kid gets up. Then after I drop off my older one, then in the afternoon, maybe one more. Even though I never felt like coffee messes with my sleep or makes me more anxious or jittery, it does put me in a fight or flight state. If I feel already less patient or more frustrated, more irritated on a given day, if I have a lot of caffeine on top of that, I feel like it just pushes me over the edge. It makes me more snappy, more likely to react rather than think and pause and respond. So I don't like that. I don't want that. I don't need that. So for me, less caffeine, max 1, max 2 a day has been something that is making a big difference. Being calm, being collected, being peaceful obviously means that we are able to respond versus react in any given moment. And it all sounds nice, but we know how hard it can be, especially if you have kids, young, wild kids, and you didn't sleep well, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's really hard to respond versus react, but we want to lead by example, right? They're watching us, how we react in a situation, how we act. They're learning self-control from us. And so that's a very important one to master. Maybe some of us have been more blessed through childhood to see an example of that, some a little bit less, but it doesn't matter. To our kids, we got to work with what we have. That's obviously easier said than done. And I don't want to talk about now how to respond because all of that comes later, right? What we say comes after we stay calm in the moment. So the first step in learning that, which I found just so helpful to remember, is just to stop. You got to know when to shush her. In the moment, we feel overwhelmed, we want to react, and then we think about what's the best way to respond, and we try it, and the child still doesn't listen, and then we get more upset, but we're still thinking about what to say, how to say, they can learn from it, how we want the situation to go, and it's just too much. The first step you need to master is being quiet and just stopping yourself and shushing. Learn how to shush. I'm not here to preach about exercising or bore you with the benefits of moving your body. We all know we should move our body consistently on a regular basis. And I've been doing just that. It's training at home and taking a health bounce daily. And it's making a huge difference. It makes me feel way more calmer and stronger at the same time. It's great. I just have workout bands, booty bands, and then I got some weights secondhand. I have a barbell with some weights and some dumbbells. If you're just starting out, you don't need crazy equipment. You don't need super heavy weights, right? So a pair of dumbbells will do. And I feel like usually moms, stay-at-home moms especially, don't have an hour or two uninterrupted to just go to a gym. If you do, and if you prefer this way, absolutely do that. But for a lot of us, working out at home is way more convenient, and it just makes it more likely for us to stick to it. So now that my kids need sleeping to be nice, I can work out. I prefer working out in the evening. So after they go to bed, I can work out. And the second thing I have been sticking to daily is the health bounce. On a rebounder, gently bounce without even fully lifting your feet off the mat. I got the rebounder secondhand as well. I'm just mentioning that so you don't have the excuse of, I don't have the money for a fancy home gym. I don't either. Just get a few things that you need that will help you be consistent and have fun with it. I truly, truly recommend health bounce and strength training. Just do something that you like, you enjoy. Having a little bit of equipment at home helps you stay consistent because you don't need an hour or two to go to the gym. 10, 20, 40 minutes will do. Number 6, shake it out. Ugly, then sit out. I used to do it with the kids I took care of. I used to be an au pair. And when the kids came back from pre-K from school, I put on a song and we just did a silly dance with no rules, no nothing. Just a silly, random, ugly dance. Everybody could move the way they wanted to. And I think it's so grounding and so helpful and just so freeing for everybody, for kids and grown-ups. You just release your stress, release your energy. And I love to do that. I used to do that with the kids before I ask them to do homework or chores or even ask them about their day. I think it's just a very calming activity. In the moment, you just release the energy, but then just feel calmer and more grounded afterwards. So I think it's great to do with your kids before or and after school. Or if you stay with your kids at home, you homeschool, then I think it's also something fun to add to your day. And again, just with zero expectations, just shake it out, dance it out. So before we talked about the importance of learning to respond versus react, which I am myself still working on very hard. You gotta know when to stop, when to shush her. And another thing are reminders. It's great to have certain phrases, certain reminders in your head, maybe after you come down, after you take a breath, after you just stop talking, remind yourself of certain things. Some of my favorite reminders are the following. They are only 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. They're acting according to their age. Are you? They're little sponges. Give them the purest water to absorb. This is not an emergency. Go down on their level and connect before you correct, before you coach, and definitely before you criticize. Best don't criticize, but maybe it's constructive criticism. Anyway, before you do anything else, you got to connect with them, comfort them. Another one is simply reminding yourself that they're learning by watching you. Right now, in a difficult moment, situation, maybe they did something wrong, maybe something happened. You're teaching them something. You're teaching them self-control, patience, that being angry is one thing, but not acting upon your anger is another thing, and then so on. Just they're learning by watching you right now in this difficult moment. Your voice becomes their inner critic, be the calm in their storm. I think those are the main ones, just from the top of my head right now, that come to my mind. The reminders that I try to stick to and remind myself of. Number 8, put your phone away. Put your phone away more often. Don't scroll before going to bed, don't scroll when you wake up, don't scroll during eating. But again, I have a whole video dedicated to that topic. If I can, I will link it somewhere. But just for yourself, you will feel so much calmer if you don't constantly have that extra input of anger, of jealousy, of worry, of I should be doing this, I should create content like this, like that. I'm going more in depth about it in the video, so I'm not going to repeat myself here right now. But putting your phone away more often is one of the best things you can do for yourself and for your kids and for your nervous system. To feel calmer, we have to, of course, first identify what makes us not calm, right? And I think a big one for many women, especially mamas, especially stay-at-home moms, is cleaning and it's cooking. It's the planning of it all. It's the million tasks in your head, the mental load of it all. It can get very overwhelming and just annoy you and just add to your frustration, just to your overwhelm. So two absolute essentials are a cleaning schedule and a meal plan. Meal prep, not my thing necessarily, but if you enjoy that, super helpful as well. But a cleaning schedule and a meal plan, not to be treated as something that you have to follow to a T, just an extra helpful tool. It's out of your head, out of your mind. It's on paper. And especially the meal plan, if you know what you're going to cook throughout the week, you prepared, you planned, your groceries are stocked. And we all know how sometimes stressful and annoying and just overwhelming it can be to think of another meal to cook. Some weeks go by and I'm like, whoa, all the ideas I have and just I feel like cooking. And then other days I'm like, it's Monday, okay, I cooked on Monday, it's Tuesday. I have no idea what I'm going to cook all week. Like, how am I supposed to know what to cook all week? Even though I've been cooking for years for my family, right? So having it planned out gives you something to fall back on the days where you don't have the energy, don't have the time to plan and to like think about when did I change my kids' sheets and what do they need for school and what do we need from the grocery store. Like it's all there, it's all on a piece of paper on your fridge or somewhere, easy to check up on. It's there for you to support you, not to stress you. You don't have to follow it to a T, as I said, but it's super, super helpful. Have systems in place to support you and to take away the overwhelm. So that was number 9, I think. Declutter and declutter regularly. Your wardrobe, your kids' wardrobes, DIY supplies, declutter, declutter, declutter. Your entire house, not all at once because you're going to make yourself crazy. Like stuff is overwhelming. Having too much is overwhelming. Having too many clothes is overwhelming. Having books nobody reads is overwhelming. Having a bunch of mugs which nobody likes or they're chipped, broken is overwhelming. Having a full counter of stuff, it's overwhelming. So much easier to keep the house organized, to know what to wear, to keep the kids entertained. If they have toys they like, toys that are not broken, you will feel better if you just can reach to your closet for clothes and you can pick up an outfit, put an outfit together super quick because you know it fits, you know you like it. And then whatever you look at in your house, it's just better to have less, but stuff that is usable, stuff that you like, stuff that is safe, healthy, not expired. You get the point. Declutter regularly. It will save your nervous system. And another one on the topic of planning and schedules and decluttering and cleaning, have some non-negotiables. That could be doing the dishes, loading up the dishwasher or emptying the dishwasher before you're going to bed, doing the kids' lunches, preparing their clothes, picking out your own outfit, preparing breakfast, whatever it may be. Have some non-negotiables that you might not feel like doing every night, every day, but you know you will thank yourself tomorrow. It will make tomorrow better. It will make you feel better. You'll be in a better mood. And I'm not saying to now create this crazy, overwhelming list of all the things I have to do to have a better day tomorrow. Just 1 or 2 or how many you wish. Non-negotiables. That even if I'm tired, even if it's late, even if I don't feel like it, I'll do the dishes. Because I know I will wake up in the morning, I'll go to make my coffee. Oh, I will see the counter is clean, the dishes are put away, sink is clean. I can start my day. Number 11 for a calmer nervous system is walking or biking as often as you can instead of taking the car. I live in Belgium. The biking culture here is huge. Everybody bikes with 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids on the bike with them, or even small kids next to them on their bikes, no matter the weather. So it's not like, oh, it's raining a little bit, I'm tempted to take the car, but I will not feel like an idiot riding my bike with my kids in the rain, because everybody takes their bike in the rain, in the storm, in the heat. They're all riding their bikes. And when I first moved here, I did not think that could ever be me. And I was a little bit afraid to just ride my bike with my kids on them, like with 2 kids on the bike. Um, but I love it now. I love it now. I take my bike everywhere with the kids. So for me, both walking and biking are absolute essentials. And the last one on my list today is less entertainment, definitely less overstimulating entertainment, both for you and your kids. Obviously, you're around your kids, so you kind of absorb what they're watching and listening to. So choose calmer shows like Curious George, Trash Track, Odyssey Tractor, Duck and Goose, White Kratts. Obviously, depending on your kids' age and interest, calmer entertainment for your kids and just less of it all. And same for you. What I like to do, what's been very honestly calming for me, is doing one thing at a time when I can, and just less entertainment, less input, less content, less of everything. If I'm doing the dishes after they go to sleep, I just let myself listen to some calm music or have absolute peace and quiet. I don't need to be listening to a podcast at that moment, which I always used to do. I do some chores, I listen to a podcast. I take a shower or do skincare, I listen to music. No, do your skincare quietly, take your shower, go to bed, do your chores. Like, you don't need all that input all the time, right? So just be more intentional about what you're consuming, what you're listening to, what you're watching, and when and if you want to watch anything at all, if you want to listen to anything at all. All right, that's it for today's video. The sun is going down. I see you in the next one.